We're here in the Rare Book and Manuscript Library to view the exhibition of Hebraica and Judaica manuscripts entitled The People in the Books, which describes the individuals that are highlighted throughout every manuscript in Columbia's Judaica collection. It's a very large collection, and it has some very important materials, and important scholars in their fields didn't know about materials that we had that were relevant to them. So really from the time I started here, it was a priority for me to set up an exhibition of these materials, sort of as a way to promote the collections and let people know that we have them.
Columbia Library possessed a rich set of collections in early Hebraica. And over the course of 2 years, we managed to catalog that collection. Turned out that there were something like 1,600 manuscripts in it. All those manuscripts have been accounted for, and they're available through our online catalog.
The materials in the exhibit cover a broad range of texts, a broad range of places and times. You have legal texts, you have mystical texts, you have a letter from a mother to her son, you have biblical texts. This ketubah from Venice is from 1692. I believe it's the oldest one in our collection. It's on parchment. What I found as I went through these manuscripts is that every manuscript told a story about people. I'll give you 2 different examples. One book is a history of Napoleon, written by a Jew who lived during that time. So he's writing about contemporaneous events. He actually had a brush with the Napoleonic army because he was German and he was considered to be a spy. And so that's one individual's place in a historical event. Another kind of story was an individual who was just connected to a book but showed his individuality. And that's where we have a manuscript where the scribe, who noted that he wasn't writing the book for himself, he was being paid to write it for somebody else, noted that the date that he completed the book was the same date on which his wife gave birth to a baby. This is a Torah scroll that was made in North Africa in the 19th century. Even though it was simple, it was wood, there were still certain stylistic elements that they felt that they wanted to include to give the scroll the respect that it deserved as a sacred object.
Every item on display is interesting in and of itself, even if you can't read Hebrew. The artifacts in this case almost literally speak for themselves. They have voices. And they do because they tell us how they've been used. You can see how they were used. You can see that they were used. You can see that they were functioning parts of a repertoire that belonged to a person, a community, a generation of people.